All right, let's end it on this. The Baltimore Ravens, their training camp. What should we be, Dylan? Just do it. Just let's get it. Let's get it over with here. What should we be looking at with the wide receiver position in Baltimore during camp?
Do they even have a group? I mean, obviously you look at Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman's an absolute beast. I think he has a great year this year. I mean, he came in last year, started the year hurt. Vinny has been just loving him. He loves Rashad Bateman. If you're new to the show,
I do enjoy some Rashad Bateman.
He loves Bateman. Bateman. So you look at this team, and I mean, he's the only weapon there, right? You look at the rest of the roster. You lose Hollywood Brown. That's 20. He had 21 touchdowns in 3 seasons. Say what you want. That's still some production you're losing. Outside of that, they're lacking experience. They're lacking proven production. They're lacking depth. Outside of Rashad Bateman, they got a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids and kick returners running around, making magic happen. You look at their roster. You think I'm
said Make-A-Wish kids?
You think I'm bullshitting? Look at their roster.
He had Devin Duvernay in the Hall of Fame. He has Devin Duvernay in the Hall of Fame.
Makai Polk, Jalen Moore, Tylan Wallace, and then they got everybody that are undrafted free agents this year. They did not draft one wide receiver. They did not make one move in free agency, and they're completely screwed if Rashad Bateman were to go down. Now I can get this off my chest. Relax. There are guys I kind of like in here if I'm taking dart throws. Bear with me because everybody in that room sucks. So I'm looking at this roster, and there's a couple undrafted free agent names I like. Slade Bolden at Alabama, productive in college, nice little piece. Played in the SEC, a nice little piece on that Alabama team that's won some games. He knows what he's doing. I think he's okay. Makai Polk, 105 catches at Mississippi State. That's a pretty productive year. He was a sophomore last year. He's slow as hell, Vinny. On this offense, he's a 4.6 40 time.
He's at a 4.6.
I mean, come on. I mean, there are some pieces on this team. Maybe James Prochet takes a step, but outside of that, the rest of that roster, I talk about the lack of experience. Game started in that wide receiver room out of the top 4 on their depth chart. Rashad Bateman 4, Duvernay 10, Prochet 0, Tylan Wallace 1. The rest of them have 0 games started. That's 15 games started across a wide receiver room with 10 guys. Good luck.
I'll say this really quick about the wide receivers. I think Tylan Wallace is actually is my dart throw. I think he's a sleeper. I think Harbaugh talked about him in the offseason, making strides into year 2. Receivers a hard position to transition from, even though we see guys, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chases do it. This is off topic, not off topic, still Baltimore wide receivers, but I have to go to Vinny here. Vinny, you know how we talked about Rashad Bateman. I loved Rashad Bateman last year. I loved him coming out of Minnesota. My love for Rashad Bateman has went from like way up here to almost the level of he who shall not be named. I will still say his name, but I am highly upset with Rashad Bateman. And this has absolutely nothing to do with his football acumen, his ability on the field. This has everything to do with he is from Tift County. And for those of you that don't know where Tift County is, it's an area that I cover, okay? I cover Tift County in Georgia with where I work. And we had a camp, and he was supposed to be there. And he stood us up, okay? He stood us up. I'll be honest. We went out there. We were hoping to get interviews with them. We've been texting with the guy, and all of a sudden, Bateman got too busy. He's not going to make it to the camp. So we didn't get the interview. So I'm a little upset because I was excited. You know, Rashad Bateman, somebody we root for. So I'm a little perturbed with Rashad Bateman. I hope he comes back to Tift County and makes it up to me. Perturbed.
Perturbed. Can you spell that one?
What did I say? What did I say?
Is that a verb?
No, you said it right. He's trying to understand it for himself.
Perturbed. Yeah, that's a big word. How do you spell that? Perturbed? P-A-
Can you say it first?
Perturbed? I can't. No, you're the one who has to say it. I don't know. I've never heard the word before. Perturbed.
Phineas's brother.
Perturbed. Perturbed. Perturbed.
Wait.
Feeling concerned or unsettled.
P-E-T.
Perturbed.
Okay.
Perturbed.
Text it to me later so we can.
It's like feeling anxious or a little unsettled. Like I don't like that feeling because I want to root for him, but the fact that he's from Tift County and we've been covering it and he stood me up is not okay. So again, way off topic, but to Dylan's point, everything he said was very accurate. But we got to remember this is Baltimore's offense, And at the end of the day, Baltimore's offense is 2 tight ends. We'll have a guy on the outside. We'll use him when we need to. We're going to run the football. Lamar Jackson's going to make plays, and Mark Andrews is going to go across the middle. That's our offense. We're sticking to it.
One more quick point here. Now, we've seen this before in the NFL where there's no weapons, right? The Green Bay Packers a few years ago, before they brought in Randall Cobb, it was Lazard, it was Equanimeous St. Brown, it was Valdez-Scantling, it was Geronimo Allison. They had a bunch of unproven wide receivers, and they found a way to make it work. Now, hopefully that's the same case for this Baltimore group, but still, I still think they add a veteran. No matter who it is, they need to add someone to that room that can at least have experience.
They won't.
That's what I said.
Because they don't use the wide receiver too. Yeah. It's even before it was Hollywood Brown. It was just Hollywood Brown and everybody else. So
Sammy
that's why pulling the curtain back here. I'm just gonna rip the curtain down here. I posted the doc earlier this afternoon. Dylan texts me his information and stuff. He's like, I want a graphic for this, and he tells me what route he was gonna take and saying they need to sign a wide receiver. I'm like, that's not my question that I'm asking here. There's no chance in hell that the Baltimore Ravens are actually going to be bringing in any type of wide receiver that's going to be
who, Dylan? Who are they bringing in that's going to be any better than what they got?
They're going to bring in a veteran wide receiver.
Who?
Someone in the slot.
Who?
Is Jamison Crowder still available? I don't have a list of wide receivers, free agents still available. I don't think Odell Beckham fits them. I don't think Antonio Brown fits them. But I do think there's someone that's a veteran that could fit their system.
Ooh.
See, off my ass.
While you guys are playing, looking it up here, I'll finish my point here that I wanted to get into who the wide receiver is that's going to step up for Baltimore Ravens fans to be able to look out for during training camp. Aaron gave me somebody in Tylan Wallace who could possibly be the guy who steps up in the absence of Hollywood Brown. Obviously, Rashad Bateman could be the one. Who'd you say?
James Prochet was mine.
James Prochet was yours after we went around the goddamn roundabout for these wide receivers. Sorry.
So let me. I want to do this because I think this is important, and I want to give Dylan this chance to.
This is my favorite game.
So these are the free agents available. Just some off the list: Julio Jones, Will Fuller, T.Y. Hilton.
Yep.
Who?
I like Will Fuller, deep threat.
Man never plays football.
He doesn't play football,
but Deshaun Watson can play more football games than him.
I guess this is my question, Dylan. Because I guess this is my question: Will Fuller is still not signed, which is disturbing. He's coming off injuries. Does that make that room better?
It gives them an element that they don't have, which is a deep threat.
Really?
Yeah.
What is Tylan Wallace?
Tylan Wallace is unproven.
You just said a deep threat.
Yeah, and Will Fuller's a proven deep threat.
Okay, that's fair. If you feel like they need it. So, but again, let me ask you this question. How does that fit what Baltimore does? Like, how does Will Fuller coming in?
Hollywood, who went deep all the time.
How does Will Fuller coming in change what Baltimore is going to do and make you look at that wide receiver room and then say, oh, yeah, now they got somebody.
Someone else there, Aaron. Rashad Bateman's in year 2. There's no veteran in that room. Outside of Duvernay, who returns kicks. There's no veteran in that receiving room.
So the veteran you want is Will Fuller, the guy who gets suspended for PEDs, can never stay healthy, and hasn't done much in his own career. That's what you want?
Yes, I want someone that can actually say that he started games in the NFL in that locker room.
Well, that could be anybody. That could be anybody off the list I was reading.
That's my point. Yeah, I mean, honestly, from the list that I'm looking at, if you're going that way, I wouldn't mind Will Fuller. When he's on the field, he's been a good player, but when he's on the field, I mean, Emmanuel Sanders is still out there, and if he's not thinking about running away, that might be a type of guy that. Because here's the thing, it doesn't have to be that deep threat. You can have that mid guy, that 10 to 15 route average
Mark Andrews
type guy. So
what I'm saying is any guy you bring in is not going to be huge target volume. Right?
I understand.
So
I'm with you on that.
So why not let those young guys flourish and get the opportunity? Because it doesn't matter who's on that outside. We saw it when Sammy Watkins was there. Doesn't matter. Des Bryant came and played there.
Jeremy Maclin.
They're not throwing them the football. They're not going to get the ball. So what wide receiver at this point in their career is going to want to come to Baltimore and play in that offense? It's the same reason why Hollywood wanted to leave. He said, this offense didn't fit me. There's one guy. It's Rashad Bateman on the outside. That's going to be the guy that gets the targets. It's Mark Andrews. The other guy on the other side, nobody cares, which is why they don't spend money on him. I have no problem with that. Because they are focused on what their offense is doing.
Yep.
Now, should that offense change? Yes. We can debate that till the cows come home.
Yeah.
I do believe there should be somebody effective on that side, but there's not going to be one. So if they sign Will Fuller tomorrow, you know what I would do? I'd go, cool.
I'd clip it and send it to you and be like, "You man, told you."
Yeah, but if a different team got Will Fuller, I might be more excited. If you told me Will Fuller went to Cleveland with Deshaun Watson,
yeah,
I'd get excited. If you told me Will Fuller went to Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, I'd get excited because that I know Will Fuller is going to fit there. I know they're going to use him in certain. I don't know whether Lamar Jackson's going to use Will Fuller or not. Give him 23 targets a year.
And then week 6 rolls around, he tears his ACL again, and he's done. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.